Disability disaggregated data benefits all. Namibia signed and ratified the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, CRPD, and its optional protocols on the 4th of December 2007. The CRPD is a human rights treaty intended to protect the rights of persons with disabilities. There are also other legal frameworks that protect the rights of persons with disabilities and ensure inclusion and equality for all, namely, the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia, the National Disability Council Act No. 26 of 2004, the Social Protection Policy, Affirmative Action Employment Act No. 29 of 1998, just to name but a few. Other international frameworks of which Namibia is a signatory to are UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, Convention of the Rights of the Child 1989, Art 23, Sustainable Development Goals SDGs, ILO Conventions, Universal Declaration on Human Rights. You are probably wondering what this has to do with the disability disaggregated data. Well, although many strides have been taken since independence in 1990, persons with disabilities are still faced with numerous challenges, such as lack of accessibility to buildings and information or infrastructure, lack of inclusive and equitable education, and a lack of proper interventions in the justice system to accommodate issues faced by persons with disabilities. Reliable and comprehensive data collection and dissemination can help to identify the cause of a problem, allowing for the government and the wider public to understand these problems, thereafter allowing for amicable solutions to be identified. According to a UN statistic, 15% of the world's population are persons with disabilities, and this figure continues to increase through population growth. In the Namibian context, adults and children with disabilities face limited livelihood and income opportunities, as well as limited access to social services, putting them in a vulnerable position. Most persons with disabilities live in deplorable housing structures, such as unsafe traditional structures or shacks, mainly found in the informal settlements. Many persons with disabilities are faced with dangers in this area where crime is high and police response time is average at best. Shanty towns are almost always situated in mountainous, bushy areas that make it hard for mobility and accessibility to ablution facilities or other facilities of human necessity.
My name is Nico Karuhab. I am 22 years old. I live in Havana. I am here for 5 years. When I get injured, I start to live here with my grandmother. Since then, I am with her. I don't want to live in this location. I want to live somewhere else, in a different location. It is problematic to visit around here. When you move this side, it is possible to fall over. Even the riverbeds are not good due to the slopes caused by the rain. I want to visit my relatives also, but there are holes and there is also no third roads. Government can come here and look how many of us are living here, and they can bring decent houses, water, and ablution facilities closer, because we are using our own toilets, which are not even disability friendly.
A quality basic education gives children and the youth the much needed knowledge and skills to face daily life challenges and take advantage of economic and lifelong learning opportunities. In Namibia, school attendance of learners with disabilities is lower than those without disabilities. The proportion of those who have attended school is more than twice as high for households with disabilities than those without, 38% versus 6.2%. There is also a significant gender disparity where 41% of girls with disabilities never attended school compared to 37% of boys with disabilities.
I am Pelgrina Ndumba, a person with visual impairment, and I am a member of the Namibian Federation for the Visually Impaired. Disability disaggregated data in simple terms means data that is broken down into different categories, such as data on women and men with disabilities, the types of disabilities these people have, and their ages. Having disability disaggregated data is very important because this then allows the responsible people to identify problems faced by persons with disabilities and come up with solutions to these problems. And it is as well important because it will be used for budgeting and planning, which will all result in the improvement of the lives of persons with disabilities. Organizations of persons with disabilities are the most important role players in the collection of this data because they are the ones who work directly with persons with disabilities. They therefore know what the needs of persons with disabilities are and will as well know how to work with persons with disabilities. I would therefore like to encourage my fellow persons with disabilities to be willing to provide information on their different disabilities when it is time for this data to be undertaken, because it will help policy and decision makers to make informed decisions.
My name is Franz Simon. I'm 27 years old. I'm from the Namibian Organization for Youth with Disabilities. I'm the office administrator. I think disability data collection is important because it helps us understand the needs and the number of people with disabilities in certain communities, their needs, their disability type. OPDs should be trained so that they can have the skill and the tools they need in order for them to collect the necessary information they need from people with disabilities. As a youth with disabilities, that's who I am, that's who I will be. So to my fellow youth, I have this short message for you. I know it can be difficult giving your information out there, but it will really help us understand the type of needs that you guys require out there. Feel free, the guys are friendly. Thank you.
Historically, there has been a lack of data on disability, particularly in the developing countries. Data collection is critical to the formulation of evidence-based policies, implementation of disability-inclusive policies and programs. If we imagine forward to the year 2030 and the successful implementation of the SDGs, our world should have become more equal for all people regardless of age, sex, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, religion, or economic or other status. While the Namibia 2011 population and housing census only asked 2 questions on disability. The questionnaire for the 2022 Population and Housing Census includes the 6 Washington Group's questions on disability. These questions are set for use on national censuses for gathering information about limitations in basic activity functioning among national populations. The Washington Group questions on disability are:
do you have difficulty seeing, even if wearing glasses? Do you have difficulty hearing, even if using a hearing aid? Do you have difficulty walking or climbing steps? Do you have difficulty remembering or concentrating? Do you have difficulty with self-care, washing all over, or dressing? Using your usual language, do you have difficulty communicating? For example, understanding or being understood?
Key actions to address the lack of disability data include OPDs in the disability data collection process. Provide capacity building training for OPDs on disability data collection and data analysis. OPDs should advocate more effectively with the government around the collection of disability data and statistics.
My name is Matthew Hashongo, the National Chairperson of NFPDN, the National Federation of People with Disability Namibia. I want to share our appreciations from NFPDN. We really want to appreciate for their commitment, and we are looking forward to engage on more projects to come. Not only the GIZ, but we want also to include everyone, also implementing partners, the Disability Council and the OPDs, member of OPDs that are committed to make sure that our objectives are met. So we would like to send these appreciations and keep on supporting us. We really appreciate for your efforts. Thank you very much.